Alright guys, today we're working on a 2019 Krash Industries Reaper. It's all taken apart right now. We had a broken mid-shaft housing that we have to replace, so the motor had to be pulled, exhaust had to be pulled, gas, carbs. Did a yearly carb cleaning. Also put our own custom struts on there to hold this hood up. Sturdy enough to hold up the seat on there too. So yeah, this video we're gonna get back to putting it all back together. We got a new mid-shaft carrying bearing housing from Cold Fusion. It's a billet. So that's what's going down in this video.
Okay. Which ones are they? We're gonna put some
Got the new mid-shaft all bolted in, so now we're gonna hook up all the old cooling lines back to that right there. One goes right there. Both off the bottom of the manifold. It's dual cooled, so.
move the motor back. As you can see on the motor mounts on the bed plate, we marked where the what the spacers are going to look like, you know, from the factory, what they came out at. As you can see, each one of them over here is labeled with a same color tape mark, corresponds to what's down there. So now you can just slide them back into place, and you should be shimmed to the factory specs for when Krash set it up. See the different color tape marks. We just use tape. You guys can use whatever the hell you want, but works for us. Guys, when you just to check stuff, you want to make sure that everything's pretty straight and true. On the coupler, you spin it around, check all sides. You don't want it to be like, you know, out of alignment, right? So use a good straight edge. You know, that's what all I've been doing. I'm not a mechanic, but, and then you want to get a feeler gauge and check your gaps on the front side and down on the other sides as well. You know, spin this around, you know, hit every side, and you'll see. I mean, I'm not making them in, you know, right down to the thousandths, but you know, you could visually inspect them and make sure that they all look even all the way around. So just a couple pointers,
because you never really know what would happen if you put an aftermarket carrier housing in, if you would have to reshim the motor or reshim the pump to see if everything would align right. So we just like to double check just to make sure.
we're putting the pipe in now. It's easiest just to put your bottom water line on first, and then maneuver this thing in and put that new O-ring on too over at this.
I would leave the O-ring. This one cleaned up well.
Yeah, we're fairly new to Krash, so we also did check the top water adjustment screw and the bottom water adjustment screw. Top looked to be about half out. Bottom was 1 1/4 out. So just for our own personal reference, so we know we have a starting point. So we'll get back to you in a couple more minutes.
So we just tightened on the head pipe, connected the cooling lines to the head of the motor, and then I put the mid-shaft cover on, which was just a pain, so I didn't figure I would video it. But now we're gonna put the chamber back in. So we'll touch base once it's back in. It's not too hard, it's just a lot of wiggling to actually get it back into the coupler. We got a brand new coupler to put back into it, but like I said, just a lot of maneuvering, so there's no point in recording it because it's not really going to get well on video. Put a heavy duty aftermarket coupler on just in case if something decided to go on, just stronger than the old silicone one that was on there at some point. All I say is if you go to put that aftermarket coupler on, get ready, because it's a real treat to try to wiggle it on because it's a lot tighter so it doesn't blow off. But next is to drop the battery box in so the carbs are off so we could actually get to it. We had to take that out because when we pulled the motor forward earlier to put the new mid-shaft housing on, can't move it if the battery box is in there. So that's the next step. All right, so we got the pipe hooked all the way up. Stinger's tapped in now with the hose. We got all the clamps hooked up to the water box. Water box is strapped down, tightened everything down here just to make sure and double check. Battery box is now tied in down there. So basically all that's left is just hooking up the carburetor and dropping in the gas tank. And then we're ready. All right, so got gas tank hooked up. All the gas lines are hooked up to the carburetor. Batteries in there are all hooked up. Carburetors are on. We're leaving the flamies off right now just so we can see if we're getting enough fuel in there. Throttle cable's hooked up, all tuned in, so we could actually get full throttle and a lot of snap. No play in the cable. We're just gonna pour in some gas and then see if she fires. All right, guys, here's the first start of the Reaper after it's rebuilt. She's ready, back for action. Smoke show going on. But everything's dialed. We didn't have it hooked up to water because there's no water hookup yet, but we got to cut one of those in. But she's ready for the water. Well, guys, that's all she wrote. Reaper 2019. Put it all back together with a new cold fusion billet housing in there. Saw the fold motor pulled, carburetors put back, pipe put back on, got the gas tank back in, carbs were cleaned, battery recharged. Everything's all hooked back up and ready for her to go back out in the water. By the way, if anybody wants to get a set of these custom hood struts, the lift kits for the Reaper, I have a few extra sets that we built together so you guys can mount them yourselves on your Reaper, because if not, it's a pain in the neck to hold up this thing while you're working on it.